Hello, vinyl fans, and welcome to another episode of Let's Clean a Record. I am your cleaning guy. Today, however, we are not going to clean a record. We're going to tackle a CD, a compact disc. They're coming back in a big way. We were looking through the collection, and I was looking for one that was both dirty and scratched up, and lo and behold, I did find one. Not one of my records. This is DiFranco. Honey, you bought this how long ago?
I'm the winner.
Yeah. You got this at Amoeba, I think.
Yes, a long time ago.
Down in LA. Yeah,
no longer there.
No longer there. But there is a little note on it I found interesting. This is what drew my eye to it. The price is reduced because the surface of the CD is not perfect. It is nowhere near perfect. But what we're going to do is show you a couple of techniques on how to properly clean a compact disc, as well as how to restore those surface scratches. And there's a ton on this one. We'll also talk about the idea of filling those scratches to enhance the sound. That's an old and controversial topic, but we'll discuss that. Let's get to it, however. Let's get to cleaning, restoring, and possibly improving the sound of this CD. So you might have heard it said that listening to a proper analog vinyl record is like standing under a waterfall, and listening to music from a digital compact disc is like standing under a waterfall of ice cubes. I'm not quite that harsh about it. I think there's good reason to have compact discs. Certainly, there was a lot of great music recorded, mostly in the 1990s, that never came out on vinyl record. That's a good reason to have them. There's the unofficial CDs that have been released over the years. I'm talking about bootlegs. I have a lot of those as well. So if you have compact discs, you're going to have to keep them clean. Let's talk a little bit, though, about how the compact disc is put together. On the label side, you're going to have a layer of plastic. And on the other side, this is a polycarbonate, which is just a synthetic resin. The laser that reads the layer of aluminum that is smashed in between these two layers comes through the bottom. It goes through the polycarbonate. That's the side that we have to be careful about. If it gets too scratched and goes into the goes into the aluminum layer, or if you've cracked the CD, it's a goner. You can't do anything about that. So first step, we're going to talk about cleaning. For the vast majority of CDs out there, the easiest thing to do, and all you really do need to do, is to take something like a microfiber cloth, usually just put your finger into the center hole, and simply wipe from the center out, spin it around. That will do the job for 99% of cleaning needs, and you'd be good to go. There are also products, such as this one from Phoenix, that are designed to clean dirtier CDs when a simple microfiber brush won't do the trick. By the way, you can also always give them a quick little blow off with the Giotto blaster. That helps as well. But the Phoenix product works thusly. It's pretty straightforward. Spray the CD. Use their little supplied pad. Put your finger there and simply wipe from the inside to the out. This does a really nice job, I've found, if you've got a particularly dirty CD, especially the kind of thing where you have old fingerprints and that kind of thing that you stick on there over the years. Once you do that, it comes with a nice little optician's cloth. You can take it and dry it off. Again, always going from the inside to the out. Okay, so once the CD is clean, you can then, if you desire, attack the scratches on the polycarbonate layer on the side that the CD is going to read through. The idea there is if there are scratches, the laser, as it comes through the polycarbonate, can be diverted and not read those pits within the aluminum layer as clearly as they should. So you got a potential here of improving the sound and certainly avoid any skipping or misreading of the digital material. So to do that, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. There are machines out there, little hand-cranked machines. I don't think you need to worry about that. What all we're doing is applying a light abrasive. This is not a chemical reaction. We're going to physically sand down, if you will, that polycarbonate layer to remove those scratches and to flatten out their edges so that the laser reads it better. What can you use as an abrasive? Believe it or not, toothpaste will work. Some guys will also use car polish. I like Flitz, which is actually a metal polish, but it's very, very fine abrasive. So it'll do the trick, and we'll demonstrate how to use that now. You do want to use a microfiber cloth, make sure everything's nice and clean, and it is crucial that the CD be cleaned, just as we did here, before you try to address the scratches. Otherwise, you're just going to be driving dirt down into that layer. So take just a wee bit on your microfiber cloth. Does not take much. And again, we're doing a back and forth motion. It's going to leave a bit of a ghosty looking film. And I'm just spinning it around back and forth. You never want to go in a circular motion with compact discs. It's better to go outside in, inside out. But go ahead and add a little more as you need. Straight back and forth like that. Remember, this is not chemical. This is a physical process of removing those scratches. Okay, there we go. So once the polishing compound, whatever you've used, dries, you want to go ahead and wipe that off. You can give this CD another quick clean after that process, so you have no scratches, or very few anyway, and whatever scratches remain, they're going to be shallower than they were previously, so less diffraction of the laser beam, and of course nice and clean, so should optimize your sound just with that alone. Now that this is a few minutes to sit, we're going to go ahead and wipe it off. Now we're going to talk about filling any scratches or any imperfections in the polycarbonate layer with something. What might you use? Well, believe it or not, some guys will advocate the inside of a banana peel or Vaseline. I do not. There is an old controversial way of addressing this issue. For those of you who remember Stereophile magazine back around, I think 1990 it was, they recommended using, I think it was Sam Telling, recommended using Armor All, the same kind of thing that you'd spray on your tires. I tested that myself back in 1990, and I think it improved the sound. I still have compact discs from that era that never experienced any damage. However, it was suggested that it's not a good thing to do. So I'm not going to propose to you that you should put Armor All on your CDs. But a lot of guys did back then, and a lot of guys think, yeah, it does help to improve the sound. And if you can think about the way a laser goes through that polycarbonate layer, if it is perfectly smooth and all the imperfections are sort of filled in with a transparent compound like Armor All, it makes sense that the laser would track more perfectly. So that's the idea. We are not going to apply the Armor All or any other compound, be it a banana or whatever, to try to fill in any of those scratches, but we will give it one more quick little clean just to make sure all of the abrasive material, in our case the Flitz, is removed. So we'll use our handy dandy little brush here. See how you just spin it around as you go back and forth. Very nice, very nice. I like this little product. And then one last dry with the optician's cloth. It definitely looks better than it did before. There are still some scratches I can see though. So again, it's not going to get everything off of there, but you could try it a few times if you like, but I'll bet that this tracks far better than it did before we cleaned it. In fact, you recall that this skipped on you a few times in the past.
Yes.
Let's go give it another listen and see if we have cured that problem.
What's a banana gonna do?
Leave bits of the banana peel on the inside. I'm not sure. I don't want to do it. Although you can polish your shoes with the inside of a banana peel quite effectively. It works well. Okay, fellas, final thoughts. And for the CD, We gave this a listen, and it tracked perfectly, so that was our main goal. We wanted to make sure that those scratches would not impede listening to the music, and I think the music was nice. What was the track that you liked? I think it was the number 4.
So what?
So What. It was really lovely piece of music, so we'll go ahead and recommend this. But we think it is important to clean your CDs. Most of the time, you're not going to need a product. But if you got a dirty one, I do like the Phoenix product. I like the little pad that they use, and it gets them nice and clean. It does what it's supposed to do. Also like the idea of applying some sort of light abrasive to remove as many of those scratches as you can and to sort of take the edges off of any deeper ones. That will help to improve the tracking. It certainly worked in our case. Now, whether you fill up those remaining scratches or any imperfections in the polycarbonate layer with something like Armor All or whatever you think, love to hear from you guys. Have you done that in the past? Has there been any deteriorating effects to the CD itself? Do you do it currently? As I said, I've got CDs that go all the way back to 1990 that had Armor All applied to them, and there's been no downside. And I do think it sounds better. I really do. But love to know what you think. So please do comment below. We will see you at the next record.